no-brainer to return for a 5th year this season, especially once it was announced that the finals would be held in her hometown. She told me there was no chance she could just sit on the sidelines and watch. She would give anything to have one more year here at Louisville, but for the hometown hero, this is the last dance.
Mom and Dad, Sarah and Jeff, here as well, of course, to watch their daughter, Anna, go against Purdue. And De Beer with those 19 kills against Northern Iowa. She had a left-hand kill that saved 1 match point as Louisville fought off 3 match points in the 5th set. Welcome to late night in the Ville. You ready, Emily?
I am pumped up. Let's get it going.
10:03 Eastern time. First serve delivered by Anna De Beer, and we're underway. And it's a good start for the Boilers. They get the first point of the match.
Expect the defensive intensity to be there all night long. Right out of the gates, libero for Louisville, Lena Scott laying out for that one. You can expect that all night from both sides.
Allie Hornick, homecoming for her. Service error on her first serve from New Albany, Indiana, just over the Ohio River from us here in Louisville. Elena Scott, another Louisville kid, will go back to serve. The senior ACC Defensive Player of the Year for a 2nd consecutive season, will serve for the Cards. And the rip by Raven Colvin. It's not just Hudson and De Beer. There are go-to players on both sides of the court. Raven Colvin's one of those players.
Colvin is the X factor for Purdue because, you know, the lefts, Eva Hudson and Chloe Chacoin are pretty much always going to go off. When Raven Colvin is on, that makes a difference for the Boilers.
Colvin wasn't wasting any time. She came in with 999 career kills, so she gets number 1,000 here in the opening minutes of set 1. And then Reese Robbins answers back with the kill for the Cards.
Watch a lot of Louisville sets to go to that right side. They run a 6-2 system, meaning they always have 3 hitters in the front court and a setter in the back court, so they always have 3 options available and one on that right side as well.
Naelis Cabello, one of the setters for the Cards, ACC Freshman of the Year. Here's Hudson, Charity Looper, another one of the standout players for this Louisville team on the attack. The kill from the grad student, the middle from Sioux Falls, Pagron Kong.
Right away, both sides establishing that middle early on. That becomes so important with 2 offenses that are very pin heavy.
Cabello, good serve, ace.
Tough serving is going to be so important for Louisville to start this match because Purdue is a very good ball control team. They handle it very well in service. It's going to be important for Louisville to keep that pressure on the Boilers all night.
17th ace of the season for the freshman. And a good serve. Chloe Chacoin sets it up for Hudson. Good save by Scott. Looper with the roll and the point for the Cards.
What a smart play from Charity Looper right out of the gates. Not the perfect set, but she reads the defense well on the other side in a massive hole on Purdue's side that she's able to exploit right in the middle of.
4 straight points for the Cards. That swing is in. Good attack for Purdue, ending the run.
Purdue's really left side dominant, but that also applies to the backcourt. Whether Hudson or Chacoin are in the back row, expect center Taylor Anderson to continue to get them going.
Hudson. Another set to the middle, and Kong with the kill.
Game plan clear for Louisville right out of the gates. Get the middles the ball as often as they can, especially in serve receive on a perfect ball. Great time to do it, knowing they're one-on-one.
Kara Cressy, Hannah Sherman, Pagron Kong, the middles for this team. De Beer on the outside. Good save by Hudson. Chacoin. Scott with the set to Maldonado Diaz. Good. Beautiful little pass by Anderson and the kill by Colvin.
Colvin trying to deflate the ball. That's how hard she's swinging on this. It tells you how fired up she's getting in a match like this. If that ball is in that window where she can attack, she is unloading on it.
Raven will head back to serve. Excellent serve. She's got a team-high 37 aces. Scott handled it, and DeBeer found the opening.
Elena Scott made that serve look really easy, and that was one of the toughest serves that we've seen all night long. The movement that Colvin puts on her serves are so difficult to handle. Elena Scott's just a better libero.
Kara Cressy comes on for the first time. Camden Schrand on to serve for Louisville. Lourdes Myers was denied. Anderson. Chicoine. Chicoine resets and the block. Cressy, Maldonado Diaz.
Blocking is one of Louisville's strong suits. They've done it all night, every night. In their last match against UNI, they put up 25 blocks. Purdue has to make sure they're covering every play.
You say that again? 25
A whole
blocks.
a whole set of blocks.
That's out of play, and it's a point for Purdue. Thanks to those 25 blocks, Louisville's up to #1 in the country in blocks percent, better than 3.1.
A lot of that stems from the 6-2 system because they always have a big right side blocker and don't have that liability that a lot of teams have with the setter up front.
McAleer with the serve. Ooh, there's the block from Chicoine. Chicoine plays, sorry Emily, I think you were going to go there. So big.
So much bigger
So
than
big.
she is. She's an undersized outside. She stands at 5'10", but honestly a soft 5'10", but she is so much bigger than that.
Dave Shondell's team, winners of 5 straight coming into this matchup today. Quick offense from Louisville. Cressy gets the kill.
Both setters making sure they're feeding the middles on serve receive, knowing that in Purdue's system, it's always going to be one-on-one with Louisville's 3 tackers up front. Anytime Louisville gets a good ball, expect it to go up the gut.
Overpass. Wow, Chicoine. Got the foot in there to keep it up, but just for the moment, it's a point for the Cards.
It doesn't matter what part of your body touches it. It could be a finger, arm, elbow, knee. Doesn't matter. If you get the ball up, it counts.
Well, we saw an amazing dig by Ali Hornig, Sports Center #1 on the top SC Top 10. So Megan Wilson from Kentucky today, head one over the net. Anything works. Charity Looper. Everything works for Charity this year.
Louisville's offense unstoppable right now, and it's coming from all angles. Doesn't matter who they're setting. They are playing with just a little extra spot.
Timeout called by Purdue. The Cards hitting 5:38. And it will be the second match on Saturday here at Freedom Hall. And if you weren't with us earlier, we're in Freedom Hall because the KFC Yum Center is very busy this weekend. 3 basketball games, commencement ceremonies, so they just couldn't move things around. So this was the home of the regional back in 2021 for Louisville, and the crowds turned out here on a late Thursday night making some noise. Cards Nation, and I see a lot of black and gold here as well. That's going to go long. It's going to be a service error and a point for Purdue.
That's one thing that's really fun about this Purdue team is no matter where they go, it seems like they always have fans in attendance. They got their student section here, got a ton of parents. They bring the band as well. It's always a good time when Purdue's in the house.
Been a lot to be excited about for the Boilermakers this season. Dave Shondell in his 22nd season, 27 wins. They went 16-4 in the Big Ten. Good for 4th. Winners of 5 in a row as they meet Louisville here tonight. And now, out of the timeout, things may be turning Purdue's way just a little bit.
Purdue's doing a really nice job getting their middle attack going and varying up where they're hitting along the net. The slide attack has been effective, but also in front.
DeBeer blocked. The setter, Anderson, was there alongside Myers.
What a finish from Lourdes Myers, the redshirt senior. Her handwork is incredible. She's not only there, but she finishes those hands straight down to the court.
3-0 run for Purdue out of the timeout as Chicoine. Service error. That's number 2 for the Boilers.
Purdue trying to throw in a lot of short serves. What that does is it takes the front line out of their rhythm and makes Louisville's offense just a little bit more predictable.
What's the Bears' goal here? Because it hasn't been Eva Hudson getting into rhythm yet for Purdue.
You have to expect her to get a majority of the sets, but on a good ball, a lot of them have gone to the middle.
Looper just about ran out of room and had nothing much to work with there. Danny Busboom Kelly, now in her 8th season as Louisville's head coach. Last year, 27 wins. They lost in the regional final in Pittsburgh in 5 sets after winning the first 2 sets. Back in 2022, downtown at the Young Center. They won that regional. Would make it to the national title match, but lost to Texas. Here's Hudson. Ellie Glock with the set. And on the other side, Taylor Anderson, her 74th kill of the season for Purdue, the center getting it done.
Taylor Anderson does not get enough credit for how well-rounded she is as a setter. She's phenomenal offensively when that ball is tight. Defensively, she's the best blocker as a setter in the Big Ten.
Block for Cressy. Cressy was so huge in that win over UNI on Saturday. 7 kills, a career-high 14 blocks for Cressy in that match.
She has been phenomenal all night. In that route specifically, they'll still run slides even though Louisville's in a 6-2 and bring their opposite around in the middle.
Hudson. DeBeer, back row attack. It's in.
Both Anna DeBeer and Charity Lupo are letting it fly tonight. Whether it's a front court swing or in the back row, they're putting everything they've got into some of these plays.
I think that's the only way they know how to do it. Everything we've got.
It's 100 or nothing. And it's always 100.
It's always 100. That one off the mark from Colvin. Give the point to Louisville on top by 5 as Scott will head back to serve. Now, Scott took a pretty hard hit in that UNI match, and she was full participant in practice yesterday. Looked fine. That one is set long, and Purdue trying to find their rhythm after that timeout. They went on a 3-0 run, but right now Louisville has answered back with a 4-0 run.
Milena Scott putting a lot of pressure on her serve, trying to knock Purdue out of system.
So Purdue will use their 2nd and final timeout of this first set, down by 6. 17-11, Louisville in control. T. Michael.
Eyes on the serving, because yesterday Louisville were working specifically on serving corners in training. They put those boxes deep in zone 1 and zone 5, and they also had a box set up short in zone 2, which tells me they might not be aiming for players, or even conflict zones between players, but rather difficult areas in receive. So those deep corners, you know it better than anyone, and so hard to receive, but also that short one can jam up those players on the right side.
Louisville's doing a good job of it, knocking Purdue out of system.
Scott calls for it. Block sets the looper. And Hudson trying to get there, could not. It's a point for the Cards. They are in control here in set 1.
Louisville's playing incredible defense. Not only are they getting stuffs, but really nice touches off of the block that force Purdue into chaotic situations.
9 digs for the Cards. 6 for Purdue so far. Hudson off of Robbins. Point Purdue. Oh, correction. Looks like a net violation. I didn't see it. Hudson looking at one of the officials, and now Raven Colvin looking for an explanation. Who was it?
I also did not see it live, but here's another look at it.
Oh, it's there. It's Hudson.
And right in front of the ref's face. Good eyes, ref. Good eyes.
John Park, Scott with service error. Give the point to the Boilers. Taylor Anderson will head back to serve. court. Another attack for the middle.
What a set from Ellie. Blocked 10 feet off the net, still manages to get PK involved in this play. Incredible game plan executed so well on Louisville's side. Keep everything balanced.
And really, that balance, you talked about the 6-2 before with Cabello and Glock. It just has worked all season long for Louisville.
Especially tonight, all hitters right now between 1 and 3 kills. They are spreading it out beautifully. That's what you get in a 6-2 system.
That one's down. Bear couldn't stop it. Hudson gets the kill. That's her second on 8 swings. Hudson averaging 6.8 kills a set through the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament to lead all players. Oh, good block, and that's back. Colvin with a point for Purdue.
Purdue's got to up that defensive intensity a little bit more on the front line. This was an incredible read from Raven Colvin in nearly a one-on-one situation, but really fronting that middle well, getting in front of that line of attack.
Colvin, an elite middle blocker, number 2 on Purdue's all-time blocks list. Horning, that's up and playable for Chicoine. Oh, and then everyone watches it drop. Big mistake for Purdue after the good play by Horning.
Those are the plays that cannot happen on your side. If you're going up against the 1 seed, you get an incredible dig like that, someone has to make a play.
Looper. A lot of dip on that serve. DeBeer. Horning got a piece of it, but couldn't keep it up. Another point for Louisville, and the Cards stretch out the lead to 8 late in the first set.
I mean, Anna DeBeer is putting her entire heart and soul into every swing that she's getting. That's what you got out of the hometown kid, playing in front of a hometown crowd.
Feeling like she's got a second chance.
Yeah.
Because against UNI, who had 3 match points in that 5th set, it looked like on many occasions it was over. That one's blocked out of play. They survived. They won 22-20. We'll show you more of those highlights. I went back and watched that 5th set again today. It was just fun. I know it wasn't fun for anybody who was playing it, but the intensity level that Anna DeBeer had in that match, and it just kind of spread to the rest of the team. Talked about the tears she had after the match and doesn't want to be in that situation again. Here she is, over the net, set back, and off the net and out of play, and a point for the Cards, closing in on a set 1 win.
This is where Purdue has to turn things around. And okay, you may not come back and win this set, but at least you gain some momentum headed into the next one and shore up some of those connections and just things going wrong on your side.
Camden Schramm serves. That's a start for Purdue, looking for something to build on. Myers with the kill.
Good push from Taylor Anderson, getting that middle attack going just a little bit better. That's one thing that has been effective for the Boilers tonight is kills through the middle.
Scott comes back on for Louisville. McAleer back to serve. She'll float it over. DeBeer showing those ups, showing that power in the right arm, and it's set point for Louisville.
DeBeer's just showing off at this point. Like, how many kills can she rack up and how many flashy ways can she do it?
I can answer one part of that. She's racked up 6 kills here in the first set, hitting .500. Chicoine rolls it over. Looper couldn't save it.
Breathing life back into this Purdue team again, just trying to chip away at that lead, gain a little bit of momentum headed into the second set.
Set point number 2 for the Cards. Block sets Robbins, who hammers it down to put away set number 1. All Louisville in that first set.
Purdue did not have an answer for what Louisville was getting them. They were dominant to start, and they rolled it on through the end.
Louisville hit .444 in that first set. No, .481, correction. They got another kill, 25-17. Set, because UNI had to fight off a few as well.
Look, Danny Busboom-Kelly said it after the match. A lot of it sometimes comes down to luck if you can get further in the tournament. There were 4 missed serves for UNI after that point 14, and that was one of the difference makers that pushed Louisville on top.
Second set is underway. Chicoine with the serve. Swing by Hudson, who had 2 kills in the first set. Give her 3 for the match. Key, take us through the huddle.
I was having a listen in to Dave Chantel's information to his team, and I thought it really fascinating that he was just listing off the stats of the other team, saying Anna DeBeer has this many kills with this many errors. Other players, this is what they're doing. And he was sharing that information. I think it's so important for coaches to actually remember that your players have a volleyball mind too, and if you give them that information, they may be able to use it.
It's so important too for these players. They understand stats when you throw them at them, and they can also feel it out on the court. For example, Louisville's outsides, Charity Looper and Anna DeBeer hit a combined 533 during that set alone. Both head coaches told us this game could be won on the left, and right now Louisville's winning that matchup.
Point for the Cards, their first of the second set.
Looper just exploding on the outside. An undersized outside. She's listed at 5'9", but man, she jumps through the gym.
Scott serves. Anderson. Block, sets it back for Robbins, and Robbins gets the kill. That's the 3rd of the match for Reese Robbins.
That doesn't get set up unless you have an incredible defensive play in the backcourt. Anna DeBeer almost laid out for this one. She's like having another libero in the backcourt with how she flies around.
Hudson, gotta think that part of the game plan is getting Eva Hudson going after a very quiet first set for Purdue.
Hudson just had 2 kills during that set. This is a player that averages nearly 5 per set. Purdue has to find a way to get her going, and she's got to find a way to put the ball down.
Looper does what Charity Looper does, hangs in the air. Doesn't necessarily need to get everything on it, but just that extra split-second hanging up there found the opening in the court to get the kill.
Yeah, it's that height that she gets, but also just the intensity and the power that she plays with. That's not an easy tip to play. She's still putting power behind it.
Cabello to serve for the Cards. Colvin. That's going to be a point for Raven Colvin.
One thing that has been really effective for Purdue so far tonight has been that middle involvement. With Raven Colvin on the side and Lourdes Myers as well. They've been great tonight so far from Taylor Anderson.
Taylor Anderson, the sophomore from San Antonio, will head back to serve. Maldonado Diaz. Chance here for Anderson to set it for Hudson again. Good dig by DeBeer. That one is going to sail on Colvin. Point Louisville.
Connection just a little bit off on the Purdue side. If they get a free ball, Purdue has to be able to capitalize on it. The set just a little bit too low.
Looper to put it into play. Anderson sprints over for it. DeBeer!
What a shot from Anna DeBeer. The power that she brings behind this and turning that right thumb down allows her to hit this kind of shot, but she is not letting up. This is such a difficult angle to hit. Not many outsides in the country can do it.
7 kills for DeBeer. Hudson a little off balance. Scott DeBeer looking for more, but at the net, Colvin teams up with Woolard.
Really strong push from Kenna Woolard on the right side, identifying the tight set and doing her job, just getting those hands over fast.
Hudson in the back row to serve. Maldonado Diaz. Good job by Horning to keep it up. And then sent back by Louisville.
Really great read and timing from Hegren Kahn going up when that roll shot was happening, not going up too early, waiting on it, then exploding up.
A lot of runs in that first set for Louisville, a 4-0 run. They did that again, and then they had a 6-0 run later. This one tighter at the start. And Purdue siding out, making sure that the Cards don't go on one of those runs like they did 3 times in the first set.
That is difficult when you have a ball right in the window that Raven Colvin loves. She will absolutely unload on it. Anderson has to make sure she's getting it right in that window every time.
Raven Colvin back to serve. And Looper. DeBeer bumps it the long way. How about that? DeBeer with the assist to Maldonado Diaz.
DeBeer can do it all. There's a setter in her back pocket, too. I mean, this is a difficult ball to put in a perfect spot, but DeBeer confidently steps in, takes in, and puts in the perfect ball to her right side. Shots, and it's right on the libero of Elena Scott. Of course she's going to nail that ball, and that allows all options on attack for Louisville. Purdue needs to do a better job of getting Louisville out of system. With those off speeds, just throw it to right back at the setup.
8 kills now for DeBeer. Hudson from the back row. DeBeer. And a whistle. And a point for Louisville. Net violation called on Purdue. Dave Shondel's got to find a way to get his All-American Eva Hudson going. First team Big Ten for a 3rd straight year. She's in the back row right now. That was touched by Louisville, so a point for Purdue.
Really, both of Purdue's lefts have to find a way to get going, whether it's Taylor Anderson putting them in a better position, but Louisville's defending it incredibly well, putting their block up strong.
McAleer will head back to serve with Louisville up a set and up 2 points here in set 2. Serve it to DeBeer. DeBeer gets in position for the kill, but then it's sent back. But it's going to be a point for Louisville.
Smart swing from DeBeer, swinging high with it against that block, forcing that out of bounds.
Anna DeBeer into double digits already with 10 kills, hitting .533. Chacoin. Scott for Looper. Looper with the kill. That's her 6th.
No questions about that one. Looper ripping that line shot. Purdue leaving it open because that is not normally what Looper likes to go for. If they're going to leave that much of it, she's going to rip it. Just the strength that she has in that arm is so impressive.
9 kills in round 1, 19 kills in the 5-setter in round 2. Off the block. Point for Purdue.
Touched by Eric Freed.
For the record, it was with my left hand.
Ambidextrous?
No,
okay. Look at you. Get in there. I heard you got eligibility left.
Oh, freshmen were eligible back in my plan. Maybe I do. Cressy drops the hammer right on Hornig, and Louisville's on one of those Louisville runs right now.
It's been all aggression. Every time the hitter is in a window where they can unload it, they are putting everything in their body onto that swing.
Off the touch, it's a point for Purdue and a kill for Hudson.
Hudson trying to rile her team up, saying, hey guys, let's go. I'll put the team on my back right now. When Eva Hudson gets in her zone, she is scary to stop. She's going to ask for that ball every time.
Remember, we were tied at 6 here in this first set. Right now, Louisville on top by 3 after that Hudson kill. Robbins. Point for Louisville. Dave Shondell looking for an explanation.
Purdue's side of the net thought that ball was in. Won't challenge it, though.
Louisville up by 4 with Cabello to serve. Colvin, well done. Anderson to Raven Colvin for the kill.
Raven Colvin has been unstoppable on the slide attack. Anytime Anderson's front row, they're going to continue to get Colvin going on the right side.
Colvin now with 5 kills for the Boilers as Anderson serves. Kong is long with the attack. Point Purdue. Louisville fans getting a little restless here as Purdue serving down by 2. Chagoin. Hudson. Good dig by Scott. Back row attack by DeBeer into the net. And Purdue is within 1. Here come the Boilers.
All of a sudden, door cracked back open for Purdue, finding ways back in this match, just chipping away at that lead.
Great save, Hornig, but no one there to help out after Anderson got a piece of it.
It's a really high IQ play on Louisville's side, seeing exactly where the defense is set up. Not the perfect set, but managing the swing really well.
Here's Looper, senior from Dallas. Played her first 2 seasons at UCLA. Scott. DeBeer. Good job. Good reflexes by Purdue. Hudson threw it over. Maldonado Diaz. Anderson couldn't handle it. Louisville gets the point, and that will get us to a media timeout with the Cards up a set and up by 3.
Defense, absolutely insane. Elena Scott flying out of nowhere, doing things that we have seen all season long, but still making it look flashy. Louisville up 3.
Sun Bowl on New Year's Eve against Washington.
Frosted Flakes action, huh?
I gotta, there could be some on my doorstep just by saying that when I get home.
I'm gonna take some too.
The media timeout. Hudson off hands, and a point for Purdue, and the Boilers down by 2.
Good answer out of the timeout for Purdue, finding a way to get that left side going, something they really struggled with during set 1.
Emily, Coach Shondell told us yesterday that Ava Hudson hates to lose, and in fact, she's pretty proud of being super intense in everything she does, right? She puts full effort into everything from academics to family to sports, but that also means, can she be easily rattled? He told us that 1 in 3 days of training, she'll just be completely gone off the court, but he's never seen her have a funk during game day.
She's a gamer. That is what you get out of Eva Hudson. She gets that look in her eye. Doesn't matter what happens in practice that week. She shows up when it's game time.
Block, Cressy tried again, but Purdue stuck with it and got the point.
What an athletic play on Purdue's side. Eva Hudson in the right spot to make this play up. Then another save into the net. Raven Colvin using that reach to go on top of it and knock it down.
Colvin heads back to serve. Just long. Service error number 3 for Purdue.
This is a point in the set where Purdue has to find a way to play as clean as possible and keep the ball on the floor, because Louisville isn't making many errors themselves, and if they want to come back in this set, they need to play clean.
There's Maldonado Diaz to serve for the Cards. Chacoin with the kill.
Chloe Chacoin bringing the heat on that play. Just 5'10", but she can jump out of the gym, and she can hit some nasty cross-court cut shots.
Round one against Western Michigan, 12 kills, hit 440 with 19 digs, followed up with 9 and 9 kills and digs against Loyola in that sweep. Anderson looks for Chicoine again. Block setting the back row for Looper.
Back row attack has been so effective for Louisville tonight. Whether it's Looper coming through or DeBeer, both setters are making sure that they're using that fourth attack option that they have in the back row.
Anna DeBeer with the serve. Myers off balance. Chance here for Louisville to add their lead. And Looper does so.
Sherry Luper's just been on fire. Whether it's a really hard swing or placing these tips so well, that volleyball IQ is showing out tonight.
Crowd loves it. Purdue takes a timeout as Louisville is on top by 4. We talked about the Louisville connection here. The hometown kids, Anna DeBeer and Elena Scott, trying to keep their careers going here and get 5 miles from here to the KFC Yum Center for the national semifinals next weekend. Key.
All right, Emily, I've got a pop quiz for you. What's the most important role for a libero?
Serve receive.
Correct. And which position never receives the ball?
The middle.
I was going to say setter, but you're equally correct there. But would it surprise you to hear that one of the best liberos in the country right now, Elena Scott, only became a passer 4 years ago in her freshman season? And not only that, she made that transition from setter. So Elena's actually not even the only one in the gym today to have done it. Her coach, Danny Busbrom-Kelly, did the exact same thing in her senior year at Nebraska after 3 years as a starting setter, and she moved into the passing unit alongside none other than 4-time Olympian Jordan Larson, and they took home the national title that year. It was 2006. Jordan Larson told me a couple of days ago that it takes a special person to do what Danny did. Her willingness to learn and adapt, as well as to just do whatever the team needs. Danny truly embraces that role. Strong words coming from an Olympic gold medalist, but safe to say, the same applies to Elena.
That's one of the reasons why Elena Scott is so good. She's so great all around. Yes, she digs a ton of balls. She's great in serve receive, but her out-of-system setting is second to none. That's something that really goes unnoticed for a lot of liberos, is how well players hit off of them, and she is phenomenal at putting up that second ball.
Parents Robert and Sherry here, of course, because they've had a chance to watch their daughter all 4 years. I was going to jump in after that, but I'm sitting next to, a retired libero, so I know you needed to.
Justice for liberos. Look, that's what I'm all about. We got to give our liberos love. Come on.
My expert analysis was going to be, can we get Danny to bring the headband back and wear it as coach? That would look good.
It's all about those outfit picks, you know?
I mean, that would be,
blazer every day.
that would be a stylish statement like none other. Oh, a statement at the net. Reese Robbins with the defense, putting up the wall.
This is what a 6-2 system gets you. You always have a big blocker on that right side, and Reese Robbins is one of the best. Just a physical presence up there.
3-0 run as DeBeer continues to serve until she just put it into the net for service error number 3 for the Cards. So Chloe Chicoine, tough server. Purdue's going to need it right now. They need to go on a run to tighten this one back up. Serves it to Looper. Robbins!
Cross patterns paying off on Louisville's side. In this rotation, they'll bring Robbins up in front like a middle quick attack, and then they have Kara Cressy going behind. You have 2 quicks happening at once. It is so difficult to defend.
5 kills on 7 swings, no errors for Reese Robbins. Anderson to Hudson. Hudson's got 5 kills in this set.
Expect Hudson to keep getting fed as they try to claw their way back in this one and chip away at the lead that Louisville has on them. Hudson's going to try to take over.
Looper. And a whistle and a violation called on Purdue.
those are the areas that you just can't have as you're trying to get back in this set. Really great defensive play, but lose it at the net.
Cabello heads back to serve for Louisville, up by 5 here in set 2. Hudson off hands. DeBeer's got it. Looper took a lot off it, found the opening, got the kill. And a timeout called by Purdue late here in set 2 with the Cards up by 6.
It has been all Louisville offense in this set. That's exactly what we saw during set 1 as well, hitting 481, now hitting 500. Purdue upped their offense as well, hit 200 last set, now at 300. But Purdue's defense just still can't handle what Louisville's throwing at them from all cylinders.
Dave Shondell was telling us yesterday how the defense has come a long, long way for Purdue this year, helping them to 27 wins and 16 in the Big Ten. But they've got to find another level here against this Louisville team that's been clicking since first serve.
Purdue's a phenomenal defensive team. They were 4th in the Big Ten in blocks per set, led the Big Ten in digs per set, so all around normally limiting their opponents to a lesser clip, but have had difficulty against this 6-2 system that's actually been fairly balanced tonight in their distribution, getting decent touches, but man, the outsides for Louisville, they have been the difference maker, both hitting well above 400.
And Louisville is a team, RPI number 3. That's the big reason why they're hosting, and this regional isn't in Stanford. But this Purdue team, 6 losses this year, all the top 10 teams, 3 of those losses in the top 5. I mean, they have been in the fire, and here they are facing another top 5 team in Louisville in the regional semifinal round.
Purdue has shown that they can not only hang, but they can hang with the best of them. They took Nebraska to 5 sets earlier this season, were 1 swing away from a win, just couldn't close it out. They've shown that they can test those top teams.
Touched by Louisville, so a point for Colvin and Purdue.
Raven Colvin's just been absolutely money on the slide attack. Anytime Anderson can get it going, they are feeding her, and it's working.
Taylor Anderson heads back to serve. Maldonado Diaz with a big rip. That's going to go out of play. 5 kills now for Maldonado Diaz. Set point Louisville. Hudson straight up. Looper spinning out of the way. DeBeer off the block. Kill number 11 for Anna DeBeer. Set 2 goes to Louisville.
Who else but the hometown kid to completely take over when it matters most for this Louisville team? They want to keep playing in this city as long as they possibly can and go out on a win. To do so, they're going to have to rely on a player like Anna DeBeer to take these big swings when it matters, and she's going to continue to bring the heat. She's been absolutely outstanding tonight.
I mean, the team has been outstanding. This offense is unstoppable right now, hitting .531 in set 2, 5:08 for the match. Here's Danny. I appreciate the honesty, the brutal honesty. I can only imagine that we got the PG version out here, and it may have been a little different in the locker room.
Well, that's why we love Dave Shondell, because he's going to tell it straight. We know exactly what the game plan is and what they're going to do.
And he's right. You can go down everything he talked about. So we'll see. And if you weren't with us earlier, Stanford's a team that they don't care if they have a bunch of service errors. They want to serve aggressively. That's part of their success. And you've got to throw a little caution to the wind right now if you're Purdue and just be aggressive on the serve. It doesn't start well for the Boilers here in set 3, though. Point for the Cards.
Purdue's passing hasn't been that bad. That hasn't been the downfall of this team. It's those plays that Shondell was talking about, plays falling in the middle of the court or not serving tough enough, stuff that they can control.
Service error for DeBeer and Louisville to tie things up at 1. I want to get your thoughts on what Danny Busman-Kelly talked about with Key when she walked off the court in the play of the setters for Louisville in the first 2 sets.
I thought they've been fantastic. I mean, they're distributing really well, and if they are out of system, they're getting the outsides in a good spot to be able to manage those swings. You don't have outsides both just hit over 400 for nothing. That means that the setters are doing a really good job, even out of system, putting them in good spots.
Yeah, DeBeer hitting 444, Looper 643, Maldonado Diaz 400. Rowan Robbins hitting 714, and you get the idea.
Especially for pin hitters, I mean, 300 is a really good number. Both of those just nearly doubled, especially for a player like Looper hitting 643.
Colvin's doing what she can. She has a team-high 8 kills and hitting 462 for the Boilers. Goes to Looper. Kept up by Chicoine. Here's Hudson with the kill.
Great swing from Eva Hudson, identifying the middle a little bit late on that block, so she has that cross court open.
Purdue has a rare lead in this match. Coin. Got to see some of that Purdue grit. That's what you talked about right at the top of the telecast. Both these teams are gritty, and that is certainly part of Purdue's MO. And you're going to get back in this match. And there's, like Shondell said, third set, you got to win 3, so it's not over yet. You got to see some of that grit.
You got to see the grit, and you want to see your players go all out, whether that's from the service line, putting in bullets, or just in the backcourt. Balls cannot hit the middle of the floor like they have all night so far.
3-3. In set 3. They continue to go to Colvin. You can see why. She's been the most effective attacker for this Purdue team, and she puts the Boilers back in front.
She's been incredibly effective, and also one of very few seniors on this Purdue team that knows if they do not win this set, this is her last match in a Purdue jersey.
Colvin will have a pro career after her final college match. Hornig, another one of the seniors for this Purdue team. Point for Louisville to tie it at 4. Charity Looper. Looper had to wear that one. Colvin is just waiting to make eye contact with Looper on the other side of the net. And Looper finally says, I'm good. And Colvin didn't want to go back. Well, you know, Raven's someone who's penned children's books, so she has a sensitive side. She wants to make sure that Charity Looper is all right because she took a hard hit.
She might bring the sass, but hey, she's got a heart.
That one is off the mark. At least Purdue's taking some chances on the serve a little bit. You don't want to pile up the service errors necessarily, but you want to be just more aggressive.
That's an error that you're okay with. I mean, that ball's barely going out of bounds. That's the intensity that Dave Shondell wants to see. At least she's going for it back there. Not a marshmallow, like he said. Got up in the air and got the kill. Purdue's also pushing the tempo just a little bit more on these outside sets. It's causing the block for Louisville to be a little bit late. That's why Chicoine and Hudson have been able to go inside. McAleer will serve for Purdue. Aggressive serve. Just missed the mark. Service error, point for the Cards. That's another error that you're okay with because it's so close to the end line. DeBeer actually looked like she was trying to make a play on it. Serve just was nasty and got out in time. I know you were in Madison last year when Purdue played in that regional.
And Oregon was lights out offensively. I think they had 364 in that match, actually, in a sweep of Purdue. This has some similarities to that Purdue ran into an offensive buzzsaw in Oregon last year. They're doing the same here against Louisville.
Exact same mirror image in a national regional semifinal. They're the underdog in this one. They needed to come out lights out, especially lean back on that defense that normally Purdue is known for.
Block for Karen Cressy. Too easy.
The cross mountains for Louisville are working incredibly well. When they bring the middle on a slide and the right side up through the middle, the block seems a little bit confused as to where it's going, causing it to be late. That slide's been effective.
Cressy 4 kills on 6 swings, no errors. Hudson. 9th kill for Eva Hudson. 21 kills in round 1, 20 kills in round 2 for Hudson. A couple of sweeps for Purdue. Block to Looper, and a touch by Purdue. Point Louisville.
Charity Looper is scoring in every single way possible. That tells you just how high of a volleyball IQ she has. She's throwing in impressive tips, bringing the heat when she needs to, and then identifying that block in front of her, just putting it right off.
Been a tight set. We were tied at 1, tied at 2, tied at 3, tied at 4, tied at 5, tied at 6, tied at 7, tied at 8. And now Purdue's back in front, 9-8. Guess who? Raven Colvin.
It's not very often that a middle is leading your team in kills, especially with the left side attack that Purdue has. That tells you just how good Raven Colvin's been tonight.
And Coach Shondell told us one of the ways that Raven's grown this year is that she no longer needs a perfect ball. She had struggles last year from Anderson setting her that slide, but you saw it just there. That ball was a little out of system, still finds a way to get the kill.
Oh, Chicoine used all the court to get there. There's some of that grit for both teams. Purdue fighting hard. Block to Looper. Point Louisville.
Louisville ends up with a point, but man, that was one of the best defensive plays that we've seen all night. That's the kind of grit that Dave Shondell wanted to see out of his Purdue team, to lay out for the ball. Louisville just came up on the other side of it, matching that defensive intensity.
I mean, Purdue had all that fight, that grit that you're talking about. Started with Chicoine going all the way past the end of the Terraflex, but in the end, it's a point for Louisville. Even after that fight and that grit, will it lead to something else? We'll see.
Good defense bleeds into momentum and just excitement for your team.
Speaking of good defense and excitement and momentum.
Nothing gets your team hyped up just like a block does, especially when it's a solo stuff off of a good read. Okay, PK.
It's going to be on the other side of the pin, and Louisville is on top by 2.
Louisville turning up the service pressure just a little bit more.
Cabello. Hudson. Double block there waiting for her. Looper. At the net. Sent back by Hudson. Looper with the kill. 13th kill for Charity Looper. That's a match high.
In tough situations, Charity Looper has found a way out of it. It might not be that first swing, but she stays in the rally. You can see that grit.
I mean, she took a fastball from Colvin earlier in this set. Barely knocked her over, and an ace. Timeout called by Purdue. Third ace ace of the match for the Cardinals, who are up by 4 in the third. You look up and down the stat sheet for this Louisville team, and the crowd loves it. They've been electric during this timeout. Looper hitting .571. DeBeer 444, Maldonado Diaz 417, Robbins and Cressy each hitting .667. I can go on. In this set, they're hitting .429. Ironically enough, a little off the mark on the serve. Purdue's hitting .429 in this set.
I was going to say, it's not because Purdue's playing bad offensively. I mean, they're having a pretty decent offensive night. Honestly, one of the better ones that we've seen them play against a top team. They just don't have an answer defensively for what Louisville's throwing at them.
And Hudson floats it long. Service error, number 7 for Purdue. Still looking for their first ace of the match. They had a 17-ace match against Minnesota this season, including 5 in the 5th set of that match. They need to find a little of that magic from the service line. That one almost clipped the overhead scoreboard from Hudson. There's another one, just a little roll shot from DeBeer that finds a way to find the floor.
Look, those are the plays on Purdue's side that you cannot let fall. You have to be grittier than that. Someone needs to take charge of the backcourt. If you know the roll shot is coming, DeBeer didn't disguise that at all. Purdue knew it was coming. Someone's got to play it.
Colvin again, and she is just trying to get her team going. She's doing all she can.
Every movement that Raven Colvin is making, you can tell it just has that added intensity. For a player who could be in her last in a Purdue jersey, she's trying to get her team hyped up, but she has been lights out from the beginning and really the only Purdue player to play like that.
I mean, she knows she's looking at the final points of her collegiate career right now, unless things turn quickly. PK Kong with the kill.
It's just one-on-ones everywhere. I mean, every single Louisville attacker, when they go up, they have a massive seam or they're one-on-one. They're just having a field day. It's like hitting lines up there.
So Pagron Kong heads off, 4 kills on 8 swings, couple of blocks. A miss hit, and it's going to be another point for Louisville. I know you saw Purdue either in person or on tape quite often this year as Dave Shondell takes a timeout. He's going to use his final timeout. I know this is not the Purdue team you saw throughout the season. How much does Louisville have to do with how Purdue looks here today, or is this self-inflicted mostly on Purdue? Because you just get the sense after listening to Dave Shondell talking to Key, he wants to give credit to Louisville, but this isn't Purdue volleyball right now.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, you're running into a buzzsaw that's Louisville's offense right now. They're doing an incredible job distributing the offense, and all the attackers seem to be going off at the same time. That doesn't happen very often on a team, to have 6 hitters firing like they are. But on Purdue's side, you have to find an answer. Those players have to dig in just a little bit better. It's those easy plays. It's not the ones that Louisville's bouncing. Those aren't the ones he's worried about. It's the easy plays, the roll shots and tips. Purdue just isn't picking up, and they always pick them up during the regular season.
Raven Colvin is doing all she can, as we said. 12 kills, hitting .526, Key.
Block assists of Purdue, or maybe as the daughter of Purdue football alum, 2-time Super Bowl champion Rosie Colvin. But Raven Colvin's actually one of the most creative players on court today. Together with her brother Miles and their dad, they have started a line of children's books, one of which was all about Raven's adventures in volleyball. And not only that, she has a flair for all things sparkly, hand bedazzling everything from jerseys to wear to her brother's game to her headphones. But Colvin, even if this is her last day wearing this Purdue jersey, she's headed to Grand Rapids Rise after graduation. But it's safe to say, after volleyball, she'll have plenty of other options to explore.
Everybody wants an opportunity in college volleyball to have that chance to play pro volleyball, but you want to push off that pro career as long as you possibly can. You want to hold on to these college days and these college matches with your teammates for as long as possible. But Purdue has run into a buzzsaw, and there hasn't been much they can do about it. DeBeer again. 13th kill.
Everything on Louisville's side is going their way. I mean, their offense is playing lights out. This is one of the most dominant offensive performances that we've not only seen in the tournament, but all season long.
Lizzie Carr is on for Purdue. Service error for the Cardinals.
Clearly that last match that Louisville had, a 5-setter against UNI. UNI was just one swing away multiple times from winning it. Clearly that lit a fire under Louisville to say, we cannot let that happen again. Nothing is guaranteed during this tournament. I think we've seen that play out a few times now.
Maldonado Diaz. Cuts in from the back. It was touched. Purdue gets the point. Even yesterday, Danny Busboom-Kelly, and I know you talked to Dan Meske earlier this week, they were still processing, like, what had happened? Like, they didn't really have an answer, like, how they won against UNI. They just know the grit was there. They needed some breaks to go their way. That certainly happened, as you talked about before. Maldonado Diaz gets the point back for Louisville. But you have your backs against the wall and you just see your season ending on your home floor, and the dream of playing in the national semifinal in your hometown on your home floor was going to be dashed last week. It wasn't. They've come out firing here, trying to set up a match with Stanford tomorrow. Hudson got it over. Cabello sent it back. Chicoine. DeBeer. Another one tied at the net. Bodies tangled up. And out of the tangle, it's a swing by Anna DeBeer and a point for Louisville.
In these long rallies, Louisville's just finding ways to stay on top. They are defensively hanging in there, and they are never afraid to take the big swings.
Maldonado Diaz back to serve. Chicoine comes flying in to try to save it. Hudson from the back row. Louisville is ready for it. DeBeer can't be stopped.
And when you're feeling yourself, you're just feeling yourself. That's been Anna DeBeer all night long. You see that big smile on her face? Not a player you see get that animated that much.
Blocked out of play, and a point for Purdue.
This is where Purdue just needs to focus 1 point at a time. Don't look at the score, just focus next play ahead, hit your serves, do the best that you can defensively to at least get touches on the ball.
Chicoine. Block sets DeBeer. Oh, the block is there. Well done by Taylor Anderson and Lourdes Myers.
That kind of play will get your team fired up. This is exactly what Purdue needs in these moments. Just get at least a hand on it. A stuff will do, though.
Set back for Cressy, and another block for Purdue.
Back-to-back for the Boilers. That block is turning on at the time when they need it absolutely most. Finding ways to slow down what's been an insanely efficient offense tonight.
Cressy with the kill.
If you're Stanford watching this match right now, I mean, you've got weapons all over. You got to have a really good defensive game plan going into this next one because it's going to be tough.
Let's see Kevin Hambly, the Stanford head coach, and his staff watching from back behind where Louisville was serving, taking it all in.
I know what he's listening to.
You.
Hey, coach.
Another point for the Cards, closing in on a sweep here of Purdue in a spot in the regional final against Stanford. The third meeting this season between Stanford and Louisville. Louisville won at the KFC Yum Center in a sweep. And then to close out the regular season in Palo Alto, it was a win for Stanford over Louisville. A match that many thought would determine which of those two teams would host this regional round. When the selections came out, it was Stanford 5, Louisville 4, which means we're here in Louisville.
And what a fun potential matchup that would be. The third time that these two teams meet. 4-5 matchup makes it that much better, but now an in-conference rival.
Match point for Louisville. Cabello serving for the match. Hudson blocks. Dominant. There's no other word. Louisville sweeps Purdue. It's on to the regional final against Stanford on Saturday.
From start to finish, Louisville put on one of the best performances that we've seen throughout this entire tournament. That